Hey, welcome to GRN 3365, where we're still talking about some lighting. And one of the things that I want to kind of talk about today is lighting techniques, or how we're able to shape light and use it to our advantage to help us create a scene. And so one of the things that we're going to do is, let me move, I guess, up to this corner. So one of the first types of sunlight light that we work with is sunlight. And with sunlight, it's going to give you a very direct, hard light. So in this upper left, I can see the sun is behind this person because I can see the front of his body is very dark. And so it's really hard to see his face. Again, that contrast ratio of cameras is coming into play. Likewise, with this one, we have the sun directly behind this girl's head, and it's making it very hard to see her face. Now, there are a few different ways to correct it. Some of it could be neutral density filters and things, but if you're looking to make a good lighting on your subject, you're going to have to move, either you or your subject or both. So I can look at this image of this videographer, and I can see the sun is coming in from behind his head, and it's now hitting this gentleman in the face. So it's giving him good light from the front. Looking at this image on the right, when our photographer, videographer first set up the shot, you can see that the sun is only hitting her on one side. So it's also giving her some hard shadows. So what he did was he took her and he just moved her over a little bit so that the sun was now more in her face. So you can kind of see even the background changed to show you that she's moved around. So when we're dealing with lighting, especially in the studio, and I'm blocking some text here, so I got to move around. I'll come down here. We're looking at what's called 3-point lighting. And this is where we have 3 lights. I've got a light here, another one, and a third one. So wherever my subject is and I've got my camera, there's going to be one main light that's called the key light. And this is a light that's going to fill up most of their body. Now, to get some of the side light, that's what's called a fill light. And it's going to fill in the rest of the side. And then to give them a little bit more definition on the back, we've got the backlight that's going to help with that. So the key light, the fill light, and the backlight are your 3 main lights in your 3-point lighting. So let's take a look at that. In this, I've got the key light that's coming in, and it's lighting up most of my reporter. But as you can see, she definitely has some hard shadows going on the side of her face, and I would say the side of her body, but you can't see that. So let me disappear for a second. So again, you can see kind of, the part of her body is really dark along with the side of her face, and that's because she's getting just that one key light. Let's look at the fill light. Well, the fill light is a little bit smaller, and it's coming in from the side, and it's going to fill in that extra area, but it's not going to be able to cover what the original key light did. Now with the backlight, we're able to still kind of give you some backlighting on her head, some shoulders, and you see this little silver lining or halo effect. It's kind of creating a separation from the background. So let's look at that again. We've got the key light that's going to come in and cover the front part of her face. We've got the fill light that's now being added in, and it's making the front of her body a lot easier to see. And then with the backlight, we're separating her from the background. And so that's going to be your 3-point lighting. And this is mainly the type of lighting that you're going to see in a lot of television studios. Even in the ones we have a large group of lighting that each of them does function as a key, a fill, and a back. And some of the lights do have multiple functions to kind of help. It could be a key on one and a fill on the other, or likewise. Now, there's also a 4th type of lighting called 4-point lighting. But in this one, we've got our same 3. We got our key, we got our back, and we got our fill. So I guess I'm in the way right now. So there's our key, there's our fill, there's our back. The 4th lighting comes into play is back here. So like I said, you've got your key, you got your fill, you got your back. The 4th lighting is lighting the background behind the subject. So if something happening in the background is very important, or you want to add a more aesthetic look to it, then you can add the 4th light to the background to give you that 4-point lighting. But that's just a quick look at how lights and lighting are used to set up the mood and help you get better at illuminating your subject for when you need to do an interview or something along those lines.